guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Chifiwa. If you are new here, you're most welcome. As we all know, we are left with 6 months to complete the year of 2024. I know at the beginning of the year we had goals that we had written down to say, I want to achieve this, I want to exercise, I want to save a lot, I want to pay down debt, I want to have better relationships with my family or with friends. There are so many things that we have written down to achieve for the year 2024. But I'm just here to tell you that it's not too late. So I thought about doing a challenge for saving $200 or 200 pounds, 200 rands every month for the next 6 months. So at the end of the year, you will either put that 200 pounds towards paying down your smallest debt, or you use that cash to maybe buy presents at the end of the year for Christmas, if that's one thing that you celebrate. Or you can use that cash to kickstart your emergency fund account, or maybe top up your emergency fund. So I thought, why not do a challenge and motivate each other to say, you might have fallen off the wagon and thought, I can't continue now, I have lots of things going on, I have lots of debt, I can't seem to save enough. So I'm challenging you today to say, start small. $200 a month, that's what you can do. Save that $200, open a different account, save it in there, don't touch it for the next 6 months. Allocate it towards anything that you think it's a need for you at the end of the year, either paying down debt, maybe paying school fees for the year for the kids, or maybe saving towards your emergency fund. But this is a challenge to help you kickstart your saving journey or to pay down debt, as I've said before. But I thought, why not do a challenge just to motivate each other? If you can save more, trust me, that's okay. You can double the amount. If you think you can't do $200 or 200 pounds, probably you can do 100. That's also fine. The idea is to also get into the habit before we get into 2025, for you to get into the habit of saving, showing up in terms of your saving also. So I thought, why not we do a challenge of saying we can save $200 for the next 6 months. This can be allocated towards anything you want at the end of the year. I know most of the time we are struggling with saving for our emergency fund, we are struggling to pay down debt. Probably you can put that money towards the lowest debt that you have, or put it towards the credit card that you have. And this will also help you, if it goes to your emergency fund, not to continue on taking expensive debt. So that cash can actually help you. I would actually advise to say, instead of going out to spend that money, why not allocate it towards your emergency fund? Because if you have an emergency fund, trust me, you save yourself a lot to get into trouble. You'll be saving yourself a lot. So this is a challenge that I do hope that people will take it on, and you will save $200 or 200 pounds for the next 6 months, and you put that money away in a different account, separate from your day-to-day account that you use for your daily transactional things, for buying your food, paying bills and everything, because you might fall into a trap of withdrawing that cash and using it. So you don't touch that cash. Deposit it into a different account and save it for the next 6 months, and you decide what you are going to use that money for. Probably for, like what I've said, maybe buying presents at the end of the year, or probably just paying down debt with that cash, or you put it towards your emergency fund and you start building your emergency fund. Because I've realized that sometimes we feel like, oh, I have lots of debts, I can't save for an emergency fund, especially on the emergency fund side. I can't save for it. I can't save $1,000. I can't seem to raise 6 months worth of expenses. So this is also a good thing to help you start. You don't have to save a lot or to start with a big amount. You can start small. I remember one last year or a year before last, I think I talked about it on my emergency fund video. I'll put it up here, when I said that I read an article of a lady explaining that she could afford to save 1% of your salary each and every month towards your emergency fund, and it took her 2 years for her to get to that point. So what am I saying? To say, don't despise small amounts thinking that you can't reach your goal. You can reach your goal by saving small amounts. You just need to be consistent and show up in terms of saving or paying down the debt that you have, because sometimes you can also be overwhelmed by lots of debt and you think, I can't do this, but you can. You just have to start small. So this is also a video or a challenge that is encouraging you to say, don't despise some small amounts and think that 200 is too small. 600 by the end of the year, yes, it might seem small, but that 600 can save you from not taking another debt during festival seasons, or that one or 200 or $600 can save you when an emergency comes in if you don't have an emergency fund. So this is a challenge for you to say, for you and me to say, let's save $200 for the next 6 months, and we see how we can use that cash at the end of the year. I will do a video probably in December again as a check-in to say, did you really save that $600? I'm gonna come back here and show you that I did save, and this is what I'm gonna do with the money. So I do hope that we are gonna take on this challenge and save $200 each and every month until December, and we see how we can best allocate that cash and use it, because we all have different needs and wants. So you decide where it's gonna go in December, but don't despise small amounts. They can do big things. I'll see you guys on the next one.